guys, how are you doing?
Good.
Haley.
Jane.
Alan.
Haley. Did you guys find the building okay?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, it wasn't too hard to find.
Good, good. Enjoying the weather outside?
Yeah, it's alright.
A little cloudy.
Yeah.
I mean, gloomy.
Well, I'm so glad you guys came today. Thank you. My name is Haley, and I will be your mediator. I would like to first just again introduce the parties. We have Jane Smith and Alan Cahill, and you guys have voluntarily decided to come here today, which I appreciate. I want to first start off by telling you a little bit about myself. I went to North Central for my undergraduate and went to Harvard Law School for my graduate degree. I have been a divorce lawyer for 10 years and a certified mediator for 8. As a mediator, I'm going to remain completely unbiased, and I'm committed to helping you both solve your dispute. As your mediator, I cannot be called to witness. Mediation is used in order to avoid court, and mediation helps maintain relationships, and it saves you all money. This is a voluntary process that you have both agreed to. This is also a private mediation in which all information shared within the mediation will be held confidential. We are here to come to a mutual agreement and to try and meet your needs and interests. If at any time you feel like you need to take a break, you are more than welcome to ask to step out. At some point, I will also call a caucus, where I will talk to each party separately. During the caucus, I will meet with each of you, and if you wish to share the information with the group when we come back to mediation, you are more than welcome to. Otherwise, all information shared will be kept confidential. During this mediation, I want to first set some guidelines. So, first of all, please make sure your cell phones are off and away. There will be no interrupting, so let everybody say what they need to say first, and then you can say whatever you want to say after. Does anybody else have any other guidelines they would wish to put in?
Yes, I'd like to say no name calling.
Okay.
Can we also add in no badgering?
Sure. And let's keep our voices to a neutral tone, so no yelling or shouting or anything like that. Anything else, you guys?
I'll try my best, but I can't promise that.
Okay. Alright. So we have our guidelines. We will make the agenda after I hear both of your opening statements. Do you guys have any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Alright, so because Jane, you have initiated this mediation, I would ask you to read your opening statement first, and then we'll get to you, Alan.
Okay.
Alright. Alan and I have been dating for 4 years, and we have a daughter together, Addison. Recently, we had decided to take a trip to Disney with Addison. This trip cost me about $2,000, and Alan refused to help pay for the trip. Then one night, Alan and I went out to a bar together, and one thing led to another, and he got pretty intoxicated. When we got home, he started saying some really mean things to me, and that was the last straw. I decided to end the relationship right then and there. I've asked Alan multiple times to reimburse me for the Disney trip so that I can take someone else with my daughter and I. I do not think it is safe for just the two of us to go, so I would like to bring a friend or my mother. In order to change the names on both the flight and park tickets, it will cost $2,000. Since Alan is now both refusing to go and to pay me, I want the money. He has also recently informed me that he is leaving the state, which means he's leaving his daughter. He is not being a good father, and he acts like he does not want her, nor love her. So I am here because I want a sincere apology for the way I was treated the night we broke up. I want him to do something for his daughter before he just leaves her, and I want him to pay me $2,000 so that I can still take my daughter on the trip. I am willing to do this mediation, and Alan, I appreciate you voluntarily coming here. I am just hoping we can reach some sort of agreement.
Thank you. Okay, Alan?
Well, as Jane said before, we've been dating for 4 years, and through our relationship, Jane was always talking about having a baby, but I did not want one. When she broke the news to me that she was pregnant, I immediately knew that she tricked me into it. I am still young. I did not plan to start a family anytime soon. I have been trying to figure myself and my life out in general, and having a child put that on that back burner and has made it even more difficult for me to find myself. I did not want to go to Disney trip that Jane is talking about, and I made that clear to her. I see no reason for me to have to pay for something I was being forced into. This is just one example for Jane has nagged at me about. The one night we went out, we both had a little too much to drink, and I think some words were exchanged, and that probably should not have been exchanged. That night, actually, she broke up with me, and although it hurt at first, I think it was better for both of us, since it was better just to end the relationship. And I've made plans to move to North Carolina to get a fresh start and find my way. Again, I really do not want to pay for this Disney trip, and I also really do not want to go. I am not a good enough father, and I do not wish to continue a relationship with my daughter. And I think it is better that way. I do not think I should have to pay for any form of child support either, seeing as Jane and her family are more than capable of supporting Addison and their own.
Okay. Alright, so some things I hear. So Jane really wants the $2,000 for the trip. You don't want to pay it.
Exactly.
The relationship is ended, and what I'm kind of getting from that is you're both okay with that. That part of the...
As of now.
Okay. And as far as Addison, the child support thing, I think we can kind of discuss if you want him to continue to be in the relationship and with your daughter, and what kind of, if you want any payments or how you're feeling about that. And then I guess just we can talk about any other, if you guys have any other agenda plans for that part. Alright, so first I would like to probably talk about Disney. I think that's the main issue. Next, I think we should talk about the relationship both between the two of you and your daughter, Addison. And I think that will cover the child support. Is there any other things that we wish to talk about?
My happiness.
Okay, how about maybe just basically about the situation that happened the one night?
Sure.
And how, okay.
The breakup.
And then that can kind of talk about just where we go from here. And basically, I guess that is the relationship, but more about the daughter here and then you two here. Okay? Alright. So, Disney. Can you just kind of give me a little background about the whole trip, what you planned, where you're staying, how you're traveling, basically all of the information on that.
So I had planned for the three of us to go to Disney, and we were going to fly there since Addison's so young and it's such a long drive. And I bought like passes for the parks, and we were going to stay like at a hotel in Disney, like at one of the resorts, which is not cheap. And I had like planned all this stuff, and Alan is now refusing to help pay, which it's myself, I paid $2,500 for the whole trip, and then he just refused to help, even though he was going to go on it. And now that he's not going on it, he still won't reimburse me.
And the $2,500, was that with the plane tickets?
No, did not include the plane ticket.
Okay. And you said you were staying in the resort. You bought the park tickets. How many days were you planning on staying?
Oh, 4 days.
4 days. Okay. And then who were you? You want to get the names changed on the ticket?
Yeah, I would like to take either one of my girlfriends or my mother
Okay.
on the trip instead, just so we have like another companion
Okay.
instead of just the two of us.
Okay. And Alan, do you want to kind of just tell me?
Well, as she was saying how she planned our trip up, I told her previously that I never wanted to go. I did not plan on attending, and simple as that. Lately I told her before I didn't want to go, and I didn't know this would all happen, that our whole entire situation from our fiasco that one night. And I don't think it's fair for me to have to pay when I continuously kept telling her, I do not want to go.
Okay.
I don't want to go. But she kept insisting that I would go. And so she went ahead and she went on and purchased the tickets, and then that happened, and now we're dealing with this, and she wants money that I feel that I shouldn't have to pay. It's not my problem. When she wanted this to happen, she forced this.
Would you have gone if you guys didn't break up?
To be honest, I didn't want to. I was only going to do this for my daughter, but at the end of the day, I didn't want this to go. I didn't want this to happen. I didn't want to go. Just so in case something like this would happen. I mean, things happen, so when you keep telling somebody you don't want to go and then they make it happen, how's that my fault? Why do I have to pay?
Do you have anything to say to that?
I just think it's ridiculous because, I mean, we have a daughter together. She wants to go to Disney. I think that her father should be willing to go with her. And then if he's not going to go, he should be willing to allow someone else to go so that we can be safe.
Well,
I think it's unfair that he feels that way.
Well, of course I'd go with my daughter, but not with her. I don't want to go with her. She didn't have to buy a ticket for me. She could have picked somebody else from the beginning.
Would you
Sorry.
be comfortable with her going with somebody else? You wouldn't?
Somebody as a family member. Of course not just any other guy.
Alright, so are there any, so you are still wanting your $2,000?
Yes.
Do you mind me asking what portion of that, so all of that you need $2,000 total in order to take somebody else, correct?
Yes, I need to change the names on the card and like the passes and then the
Okay.
hotel and everything.
Okay, so it would be, so you would still have to pay the $2,000, but you need an additional $2,000
Mhm.
just to change everything.
Yeah.
Alright, and you're just,
I'm not going to pay for it because it wasn't my idea.
I mean, throughout our entire relationship, I feel like I have always paid for everything, and Alan never offered to help. And so, like, I don't think that there's any reason you shouldn't pay $2,000 because, like, it's compensation for our entire relationship for the past 4 years, and it's less than what I should be getting.
That's not true. Do you have any legal documentation that shows that you pay for everything? I pay for plenty of things. How is it you are always paying for everything?
You don't help with our daughter at all.
I am always there for our daughter.
Yet you don't want a relationship with her.
No, I don't. I want a relationship with her, but not with you. And if you're not gonna let me have that, then I'm sorry, but I have to let myself go, and I have to go to North Carolina because I can't be around if you don't want to let me have a relationship just with her because you want to be in the picture all the time. I don't want that.
She's my daughter.
Well, of course,
I'm
but
gonna
you
be
got,
there.
but you have to respect that. I just want to just be me and her. You can drop her off, that's fine, but I just don't want nothing to do with you.
I'm not comfortable with that. With leaving you alone.
okay, so I think we're gonna take a little quick break. I'm gonna ask Jane, she's gonna go collect herself outside. I'm gonna walk her out
She's
really
good at
quick.
it anyways.
We're just gonna hold a quick caucus. Really, okay? Okay, so first, I just want you to kind of tell me anything that you don't feel comfortable or you haven't shared yet that you might want to share. Everything said here is confidential unless you tell me otherwise.
Well, I know this may sound crazy, but I I've always held this to myself, and honestly, 2 years ago, she broke the news that she was pregnant. And I recall hearing her talking about how much she wanted a baby, and honestly, I truly believe that she tricked me into getting her pregnant. A baby was never in my plan for life. It's not something that I wanted to have being at the age of 21. I just want to enjoy my life, do what I want to do with no responsibilities of taking care of another human being. And honestly, at this point, I'm not sure what I want to do in my life right now with having a daughter as Addison. I don't know how that. I don't know if having her in my life right now is the best thing.
Okay. Okay, so you think the best thing right now is just to kind of go and find yourself and figure out everything?
Yeah, I honestly feel that going to North Carolina would be a fresh start. It would give me something to look forward to instead of being here and stuck in this life that I never asked for.
Do you think that if you're leaving, that there should be some sort of support that you're sending, or
Well,
I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, I honestly feel that her family is more than capable of taking care of her, you know. I mean, she goes to school for free. She gets everything taken care of, whatever she needs. And me, on the other hand, I don't have that background like her to have a family to take care of everything for me, help me out as much as her family does. So I feel that staying here with her and her family would be the best thing for her and for me to go. Because it's not healthy for our situation. It's not healthy for our daughter.
So, do you want any relationship then with her? Any contact, anything you're looking for?
As of right now, no. I'm not even sure about myself anymore. I'm so lost. I don't know what to do, and I feel that going to North Carolina would be the best thing for me to find myself, and maybe one day again I'll get in contact with my daughter Addison.
So, do you think there's any settlement options that you would be open to as far as the Disney payments?
As of that, no. I don't believe that I should have to pay anything. I don't think that's right that I was forced into something and then, unfortunately, yes, we broke up, that I had to pay for it. Even, I told her before, I didn't want to go. I clearly told her. And if something were to happen, it's not going to be on me. It shouldn't be on me. So why should I have to pay for something that I told her I didn't want to do? I don't think that's fair.
Okay. Alright, so is there anything in this caucus that you want to keep confidential right now?
To be honest, I'm to the point where I want to release everything. I want it to be out there. I don't want it to... Honestly, I don't care. If you want to tell her, that's fine.
Okay, well, I might ask you to share just some things when we get back to the mediation, if you don't mind.
What is that before we get back to the mediation?
Like, just about the pregnancy and just about you don't want to pay anything. I'll kind of lead you into it, but I'll just ask you to just share what you said.
Okay.
Okay? Right, so I'm going to bring Jane in and then we'll walk you out.
Okay.
Okay, Anna, I'll walk you right in. Okay. Alright, so just kind of tell me anything that's been on your mind that you wanted to say, maybe not in front of Alan at this time.
I'm just like really frustrated that he's not willing to compromise. He's leaving our daughter, he's leaving me, which, I mean, I'm fine that our relationship is over, but we were together for a long time, so it still is hard. And then the fact that he doesn't even want a relationship with his daughter hurts too. And I'm also frustrated because he's always been kind of mean to me, and he calls like the night that we broke up, he said a lot of degrading comments that were really hurtful, and he's always just been kind of mean.
And is this
when
why
he can't get
you
his
were
way.
saying you didn't feel comfortable with him being?
Yeah, I mean, it makes me nervous, especially when he's like, has like an agenda against me. I don't want that energy around our daughter.
Okay. As far as Disney, and finding some sort of resolution with that, is there any compromises you're looking at, or you want the 2,000?
I mean, I want the 2,000, but I mean, I'm willing to settle for less if that's all I can get.
Okay.
But I want something
Okay.
for compensation.
Yeah. How about as far as him moving to North Carolina? Is there anything in the child support and?
I mean, I do think he has to pay child support, but I don't think I'm gonna get that out of him. So, if he's gonna leave though, I don't want him to like be contacting our daughter ever, or trying to get like in contact with her, because I mean, he's the one who's walking away.
Okay.
So, I don't think he has any right to have a relationship if he's gonna leave.
And do you feel like that should be from here on out, or do you think in a few years down the road, should he have that option?
At this point, I don't think he should ever have that option if he's leaving, but I mean, things happen, so I would just have to see
Okay.
later on.
Do it by
Mhm.
Okay. So basically, when we get back to mediation, I will keep all this confidential unless you feel willing to share it. I can kind of give you, say just what did you want, what we talked about in the caucus, would you like to share? Would you feel comfortable sharing some of it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's anything that he doesn't know that he knows I'm frustrated, so.
Okay. Cool. Anything else?
I don't think so. Yeah, I just really want him to pay,
Okay.
honestly.
Alright, I'm gonna bring him back in, and then we're gonna just talk and try and come up with a settlement. Alright, so. So in the caucus, I asked both of you questions about Disney as well as, future plans. I want to just first try and settle the Disney dispute. If not, we can move on to something else if that's probably gonna, depending on how we come to some sort of conclusion. I guess first I'm going to ask you what you shared with me, that you are just still, don't feel you should pay the $2,000, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I told you before, I don't think it's fair. I told her plenty of times that I wasn't gonna go. And she continued to pressure that on me and push it on me to, hey, you're gonna go, I'm gonna pay for it. But who knew that something like this was gonna happen?
Mhm.
Of course, yeah, I would go for my daughter, but at the end of the day, I didn't ask for it. I don't feel like I should have to pay for something that I continuously told the person that I didn't want to go.
And I mean, and you're still feeling the same way?
Yeah, I don't, your reasoning doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it's a trip for your daughter. I think you should be willing to help out especially since you're not going now and I have to change the names. I don't know. So.
Okay. I think what I want to do is kind of move into the child support and the relationship with, especially with him and Addison in the future, just to kind of see where we can, if we can find that mutual ground between the trip and future support. One thing that you both shared with me is that you're kind of okay with just going your separate ways, and you kind of taking care of Addison and you taking care of yourself. Is that correct?
Well,
Like,
for me, I feel like it's more finding myself. And then I'll come back.
okay. So I think for right now, we're okay with separating. Do you want to share anything about the support that he would be paying or not paying while he was gone?
If he's willing to pay the $2,000, I'm not going to ask for any child support just because I don't think I'm going to get any out of you. But if you don't pay the $2,000, I'm going to need something because she's your daughter too. So you can't just push all the financial responsibility onto me just because you need to find yourself.
But Jane, you know my situation. I don't come from a family like yours that can take care of you and give you whatever you need. I've done everything by myself. I mean, you know what my situation is.
I get that, but you still have a daughter that you have to take care of.
I know I do. Look, I don't want to be like the mean person and just leave and just get away with nothing, you know, like just, I'm not mean like that. Of course, I want to be there for my daughter, and honestly, the most I can give you is $1,000. But if I give you $1,000, you need to agree that you're just going to give me my space and let me be. And when I'm ready to come back to, you know, be a father to my daughter, I'll be back. But you got to be okay with that. I'll give you $1,000, but that's the best I can do because I am relocating in North Carolina.
I mean, I'm not okay with you leaving and then deciding when you can come back when you're ready to be a father. You can't just like stop being a father and then decide that you're ready and then come back. Because what is she supposed to do with it, like during the time that you're gone? Like she's gonna feel like you just left her.
I'll always be there in spirit, though. I'll be back. I just need to find myself. I just hope you can respect that. I'm at least gonna give you $1,000. That's the best I can do for you.
I don't know if that's enough though.
It's never enough for her. She's always complaining about something. I just don't understand. You know, I see. Whatever.
Okay, so let's just clear the air a little bit for a second. Okay, so you've offered to pay $1,000,
Yeah.
and then no child support or anything if you leave, or any sort of contact with Addison
Until I'm ready.
until you're ready. Now, what Jane is kind of saying is she kind of wants to be the judge of that when you're ready, and deciding when you should, when and if you should be able to come back into Addison's life. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So I think maybe we can try and come to that agreement right now, is basically based on the relationship with Addison, and when you're ready, how you will make those decisions. Does that sound like an okay thing to talk about for a second? Mm-hmm. Okay. So what are you planning on doing when you're in North Carolina?
Finding myself. I mean,
Does that include...
I just need that stress-free situation. Because having a daughter and then somebody as nagging as she is, it builds up a lot of pressure for me. It just doesn't give me my space, and I can't function right now. I'm lost.
Right.
Obviously, she has everything set up for her. She's going to school and everything, but I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Okay, so basically I'm just trying to figure out how long of a period you're looking at of finding yourself. Is it gonna be 5 years, 10 years?
I don't know. You can't put a time on finding yourself. It just happens.
Okay.
I hope it's not long, for my daughter's sake.
Jane?
I believe that if you're gonna leave, you don't have any right to just, whenever you're ready, come back into Addison's life, because she has to spend however long you're gone finding yourself, like, without a father. So, when that time comes, you're gonna have to talk to me, and then if it's long enough where Jane's old enough to decide if she wants to have a relationship with you, then she'll have a say in it as well, but you will not have any say in whether or not you get to have a relationship with her.
So what, Jane? Do you want her having a dad around that's completely lost and not going to give her his best? I can't do that right now. I'm not going to be able to give my best to her. She needs a father that's going to be there 100%. I'm not 100% right now.
Okay, well, if that's how you feel, then you can leave, but I'm just saying I'm not just gonna let you waltz back into her life whenever you want. That's not fair to Addison. You can't just leave and come back.
And it's not fair for her to have a father that's not going to be there, even when he's here, physically. But I'm not there mentally right now. She's young. I would hope at this moment in her life she's not going to really notice this.
She's gonna notice that her dad's gone.
So I think maybe we can talk about if you want to do like phone calls somehow. Maybe not if you know, just to like keep up with everything. You don't have to specifically talk, but maybe
I'll
you
FaceTime
just
her.
talk to her maybe every 2 weeks or something. We could try and figure out something like that.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
Okay. Are you okay with that, or what would you? Just,
I don't know.
I feel like because if we cut off all the communication, that's kind of going to be an if and when situation, but then you might have more of an idea of what's going on if there's communication every 2 weeks between the two of them, depending on how long that is.
I mean, I guess I'd be okay with that just for Addison's sake.
Okay. And we can pick a day and a time, so it's consistent every week, every 2 weeks. And you would have to abide by whatever guidelines we put forth, if that's okay, if you can agree to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to settle on every 2 weeks FaceTime for, I don't know, half hour to an hour with those two. Obviously, it's going to be a little difficult right now because she's so young, so it probably won't be as long, but you can just set her in front of the phone and do it. Is that okay then for right now, until he decides to come back into the picture, and then we can discuss what kind of guidelines that you will set?
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
Okay. All right, what day, time were we looking at? What would work best for you guys?
Like a Sunday evening, maybe,
Yeah.
Okay.
at like 5 or something like that.
5 p.m. to 6 p.m. We'll give that like a time range, and however long it lasts.
Yeah.
It lasts. And I guess if there is an emergency or something, that would be your job to, and your job as well, to kind of communicate if that doesn't work that day. Is that going to be okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs to be like, you know, actual good excuse, whether if you can't make between that time and that time. Alright, so I think then the next thing is when or if you come back into the picture and you move back to Illinois, are you going to be okay with her making that decision of whether or not you can, you know, be back into Addison's life.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's only fair just because I'm the one who's gonna be taking care of her while he's gone.
I'll let her have it.
Okay. So, Jane. So we're okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I guess right now, so we're not going to have any child support during the time that you're away. So I guess we need to kind of decide what and like what payment will be made for the Disney trip, if any. I guess that's the main thing right now.
Like I said before, the best I can do is $1,000.
I feel like maybe you can meet me halfway at like 1,500,
Halfway is 1,000.
but between 1,000 and 2,000, 1,400. I feel like that's really cheap for leaving.
Yeah, for forcing somebody to go on a trip that didn't even ask her.
It's not even about the trip anymore though, it's just you're leaving. And I'm not asking any child support from you. It's $1,500 for however long you're gonna be gone.
I don't feel like it's right. I'm already giving you something. What more do you want?
I want $1,500. I want a little bit more so that it's a
Well, I'm
little
sorry,
bit easier
but
for
you're
me
only getting
to
$1,000.
take my daughter on a trip.
That's all I'm
Okay,
doing.
hold on. Make sure you guys are not interrupting each other. So finish what you were saying and then we'll let Ellen go.
I mean, I'm just trying to bring my daughter on a trip so that she can have an enjoyable time. I feel like all this bad energy has been getting to her and she's just, like, I don't think even though she's young, she doesn't really understand what's going on, but she's like, still feels that there's tension.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think Disney would be something fun for her to do. And I already dropped $2,500 on the trip for her. And so I don't think that $1,500 is a lot to ask from you.
But again, let me tell you again. I didn't ask to go. I didn't want to go. I never asked for this. And I'm still offering $1,000 and it's still not enough for her. You know, it's never enough for her. She forces me to do something when I tell her I don't want to. Like,
I don't get like why you
I'm
wouldn't
not
want
done talking. So, like I said before, I mentioned it earlier. Honestly, like, she's always forced me into things. And, like, a long time ago, before Addison came into our lives, I never wanted a child. I never, ever wanted a child. I wanted to enjoy my life, and then, honestly, I feel like you purposely let yourself get pregnant.
I don't know how like you would have expected me to do that. It takes two people to get pregnant. Like I can't plan something if you don't want it.
Yes, you can. I know you were on birth control.
I can't believe you're accusing me of that. Stuff happens. Like I didn't plan this.
99%, 1% chance of getting pregnant. The odds are pretty slim.
Still can happen.
You know what you did.
Okay, so let's back up for just a second. Let's kind of just stick to the Disney thing for right now. So we're getting a little off topic. We can go to the breakup and everything towards the end, kind of try and neutralize that situation. But as far as Disney goes,
$1,000. That's the best I can do.
No. I need more. Seriously. I'm not asking any child support from you.
But you already get the support from your family.
It's not my family's responsibility to support Addison. It's mine and yours.
Then why do you take your family's help then?
Because they offer it and they're being kind. So I'm going to accept their help, but I'm not going to ask for this from them.
But you know I need help. Where am I going to get the money from? I'm already giving you $1,000. Can you just understand that I need to find myself? I'll do the best I can, but as right now, you need to give me my space. You have your family, you have everything you need. You can't keep asking for more from me when you know I didn't want any of this. I didn't even ask for the trip. But you continue to push it on me, and you force it. You go ahead and you pay for it, you put everything in my name, and I clearly told you to not do that. What do you not understand?
I understand it, but it's too late. It already happened, and I need some money from you. Seriously, I'm not asking for any child support, and this trip cost me a lot of money, and I get you didn't want to go, but she's your daughter, and she deserves something from you.
So, I guess maybe something I'm thinking about that might be an option, just because we're kind of stuck at the 1,000 and the 1,000 and 1,500. And meeting in the middle would be 1,250. Okay, so a little out of the box kind of solution. I was thinking about something we can include with birthdays or Christmas or something, and how you're planning on doing that. Maybe that can come into the kind of the compensation for the Disney trip. If we can figure out a number, maybe if we want to do the $1,250, you still pay that, but then for birthdays, there could be something else.
I would send her anything I can send. I would send her a little bit of money here and there, and send her pictures, cards. I'm not gonna just not send her anything.
Okay. So is there some an amount that we could put a limit on for birthdays, or the minimum and maximum amount to kind of make up for that?
I mean, minimum $20. If you're gonna send something, you can't send less than $20. Probably. I mean, I don't really know if there is a maximum.
Well, if I'm gonna send something, if I'm gonna send money, we're putting a figure on it. If that's gonna be the case, I want her to open her up a checking account or something so we could put a savings away for her, because I don't want her to send money and I don't know if she's gonna take it and use it.
Okay.
I mean, I would never do that, but I'm willing to
Open a savings. Okay.
for Addison for that purpose.
So if we open a savings, then I think then what you would need to do is send a receipt or have some sort of evidence that it went into the account, that amount. How much, so for birthdays then, are you thinking just birthdays or birthdays and Christmas?
I would say like any major holidays that we celebrate. So like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, and then a birthdays. Just those three and birthdays.
Sure.
Okay, so.
I'll send whatever I can. For sure on her birthday and Christmas, I'll definitely make sure something that's good at least. But on Easter, Thanksgiving, I'm not gonna just, constantly send her money because of those.
So I think that, even if you buy her a gift, that if it was between the $20 to $50 range, it just has to be between that range or more, but at least between that. And then if you buy her a gift, then obviously that's not going into the bank, it's just different.
So I'm asking for money on birthdays and Christmas.
Okay.
At least a card on other holidays.
Okay.
So that she's having some contact besides these FaceTimes with her father.
Okay.
If he's eventually trying to come back into her life.
And are you okay with that? Money on birthdays and Christmas?
Yeah.
Card or whatever else on Easter and Thanksgiving?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
So with that, then are we going to be okay with the $1,250 for the Disney trip?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I guess that's fine with me, if that's what I can do.
Okay. Alright, so Disney. And then, holiday payments. Sessions. Okay. So far we've agreed on every 2 weeks you're gonna FaceTime Addison between 5 p.m. 6 p.m. on Sundays, every 2 weeks. When you decide to come back into Addison's life, Jane is going to kind of make that decision, and you need to just provide her with the information and security that, so she'll feel comfortable with you coming back into life. You're going to pay the $1,250 for the Disney trip, and on holidays, birthdays, Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthdays payment for Easter and Thanksgiving, just some sort of card or whatever you feel is appropriate.
Okay.
So far we're in agreement?
Yes.
Okay, so I think the next thing we're just going to go over will be the breakup. I guess whatever you feel you want to hear from her, whatever you feel you want to hear from him, just to kind of neutralize that situation so we can have a stronger relationship between the two of you.
I would like a sincere apology for what you said to me that night, because it was really hurtful.
What did I say?
You called me a really mean name.
You're getting what you want, and then you continue to ask for more. Why can't you just be content?
Because what you said to me was hurtful and it was mean, and I'm not, you're the father of my daughter, so like, I just want to have at least so that we can be civil, an apology, because otherwise there's just going to be this tension all the time, and I feel like that you owe me that.
Honestly, with time, I would get over it. I'm not even thinking about it anymore.
So you're just not going to apologize?
You can't just move on from it.
No.
Is there something that you want from Jane that you're thinking of?
Yeah, my $1,000, $250, but I'm not gonna get that back. So why can't you just be okay with just letting it go?
I just feel like that's not something that we were in a relationship for 4 years. That's not something you should be saying to me, and you should feel sorry for
And you know how many
being
times?
rude.
You know how many times you've told me things? I never
I get
asked
that,
for
and
an apology.
I'm sorry. I don't want to be have this tension between us. I don't like it, and I'm sorry for anything I might have said to you, but I just want an apology. I think that's the least you can do.
I'm sorry.
Do you actually mean it though?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think both of you needed to apologize, which you did, so that was good. Is there anything else that you want or you're interested in? Anything from you? We have to make sure both of you are on the same page with all of these, and there's no,
I just want to say that if you miss so many FaceTiming sessions, if you just neglect to come or you don't have a legitimate excuse, for missing them, because Addison's going to be looking forward to talking to you, then I think that eventually, if you miss so many, you shouldn't be able to talk to her anymore. Or it should be less frequent, because that's just going to get our hopes up and they're going to be let down all the time if that happens.
I can agree with that. But also, I would hope that she doesn't tell her that I left because of our situation of us not being able to come together. I hope she can tell her I'm going away to work, and she's young right now. I don't want her thinking that it's because of her that we're not together.
Okay. So you said that you wanted just, I guess, to be, you need to let her know if you're not going to be able to do the 5 to 6 talk with Addison.
And we'll need to reschedule, or...
And we'll need to reschedule. If you neglect to tell her, how many times were you thinking?
I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5, like if you miss 4 or 5.
You have 4 to 5 misses. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So all you have to do is just let her know so you can reschedule it, and then that doesn't count as a miss.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you would just like to be portrayed in a positive way towards your daughter when she's discussing
Yes.
where you are, if she asks questions.
Because she tends to say a lot of bad things about me.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to degrade you to your daughter, though, so...
We've done it in the past.
Alright. How does that all sounding so far? Okay.
yeah, I agree with all of it. It's fine with me.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go over one more time everything, make sure we have clarified all of the stipulations behind everything. So first, every 2 weeks, FaceTime Sunday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. If you are not able to, or you are not able to, both of you need to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only communication I'm really asking from the two of you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
If you have 4 to 5 misses where you neglect to tell her that you can't talk, then you guys need to, are you going to end any communication, or are you going to?
Either end, depending on the way that, like, why he missed, or like what
Mhm.
happened, or just make it less frequent.
Okay,
So once a month, if
Okay.
he misses that many
So
times,
once a
or
month
end.
if you miss that, and then maybe if it happens again, then you might go to no contact on the weekends. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Okay. When you decide to come back to Illinois and be in your daughter's life, you are going to make a decision based on just,
If he's ready and if he's got his life together, and...
so financially,
Mhm.
okay.
And just, like how he is, like
Mhm.
himself.
So you just have to be honest and tell her what's going on, okay? And I think at the same time, you need to be open to hearing what he has to
Yes.
say.
And I'll include Addison in that decision too, if she's old enough to decide.
Okay?
What time.
Alright, so we're okay with that? Then you are going to give the $1,250 to Jane by when? Is there a certain time that would be best for you?
2 weeks.
Okay. So in 2 weeks from today, where you should have written a check to her, or cash, whatever, of this amount. Also, you are going to, for Christmas and birthdays, give Addison some sort of money, which she will be creating a bank account for her, which will be directly deposited into there, and you will be shown proof of that. Okay. And then, for Easter and Thanksgiving, cards, whatever. I put gifts just as a general. And then you're responsible for just keeping a positive description of Alan to Addison and and not letting her see him in a bad light, and that he's just working on himself and getting a job or whatever you feel is necessary. Is there anything else you want her to add in that description?
It's not take any pictures down of me.
Okay. With Addison? Or
All
just
of
in
us
general?
together.
Okay, so
So if Addison's if you're in the picture and Addison's in it, I won't take it down. But if Addison's not in it, it's gonna be gone.
Yeah, that's fine.
okay, so Addison and you are in the picture, minus or including you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay. So now I'm just going to write up this memorandum really quick, and I'm going to have you guys sign it, and then I will give you each a copy of it, and it'll be yours to keep, and you need to just abide by whatever is said on here. We've discussed everything in detail. It'll be in detail on here, so you have this in writing and proof. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll make copies. Jane, if you will sign on that X for me. Alan, you'll sign there for me. Okay, thank you. I will make 2 copies of this for you guys, give it to you, and then you're free to go. And good luck with your journey. Good luck on your vacation. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'll walk you both out.